All right, Randy. Randy, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I'm from Los Angeles, California.
What part? South Central?
Yes.
Tell me about your family growing up.
Um, well, I was only child for 8 years. My father died when I was 3.
I'm sorry.
My mother remarried. They had 2 daughters together. But my youngest sister were 8 years apart. I mean, it was, my stepfather was basically, he was an asshole. He didn't want me, but he wanted my mother. And my mom was real passive, and she's not good on her own. So she got to let him do what he wanted to do. And he was very interesting, a little abusive, mentally, physically, but I made it through. I've been on my own since I was 15. He kicked me out the house.
Really? What'd you do at 15?
Hustled. I tried to go, I tried to go to school in the morning time and, hustle all night long, but I'd be sleeping in class all the time. So teachers kind of were on me about that. So I had to choose between money and living in school, and money went out.
School was not for you.
No, unfortunately.
You're living on the streets?
The friends bouncing around, just trying to make it. Eventually, I took care of myself and had found my own place. But yeah, initially it was just bouncing around, couch to couch, just sleep whatever I could do.
Did you have a long-term goal, or?
I didn't know what I was going to do. I honestly didn't think I'd be making it even past 18. So thinking long-term was not even something I could even fathom at the time.
What'd you do?
Sell drugs, for the most part. I mean, robbery here and there, but most of the time it was just selling drugs.
You stay out of trouble?
For the most part, I didn't get caught.
That's what I mean.
Yes, yeah.
You're asking for trouble. You were getting caught is what I
was
meant.
lucky, I guess you could say.
You joined the military at some point?
Yeah, it's just so happened a friend of mine and I were sitting outside smoking some weed one day, and a recruiter walked by, and he made it sound like it was the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, didn't know anybody in the military, knew nothing about it. But at the time, it sounded like it was going to save my life. So I went. I was gone within a week.
Where'd you go?
Great Lakes, Illinois. I was in the Navy.
And do you go overseas at all?
No.
Never did.
I've been, here for training purposes here and there, but I was stationed in Pennsylvania.
How long were you?
4 years.
4 years. And you came back and did what?
Back to hustling. Yeah, I hadn't graduated high school. I still didn't. See, I thought I would be able to go in and get a job that I could use on the outside. And I went in for training for a particular job. And when I got to my first duty station, they didn't have it was a mix up in the paperwork. They didn't have that job available. So I had to learn bombs and guns on the job. And I couldn't really use that once I got out. So I was kind of just stuck. Yeah, so I was in Atlanta. And the night before I was about to go back to Los Angeles, I just got out. I bumped into some friends of mine at the club that I grew up with, and found out there's a couple of my other friends were coming out the next day. And so I stayed. I never left 3 years. And we did the most. We were selling, bringing weed, bringing pills. You could buy guns out there with fake IDs, and we were sending it. We were just doing a lot. It was a good time, I could say.
This is in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How's Atlanta compared to LA?
It's kind of like LA. It's like a smaller LA in a way, because you have a lot of transplants. You got the colleges out there, but it was a good time. You got strip clubs, you got money, you got women from all over the place. It was a good time, I have to say.
So you like to buy the companionship of the ladies sometimes?
Yes, yeah. It's to be quite honest, it's a lot easier. Dating and get to know somebody, and I don't like that part. So plus there's no guarantee that you're gonna get anything. And especially exactly what you want. So I find it a lot easier just to go ahead and I'd rather pay up front, and so we both know what we're there for, and there's no mistake about it.
Have you had long-term relationships outside of the streets? Outside,
I've tried. Yeah, I have, but I still did this. I would dip in the streets at the same time. It was just like I said, it's just a whole lot easier, and plus it's you can do and get whatever you want, and sometimes you can't get that at home.
And variety is
always
available, right?
Very much so. Very much so. Whatever you like, it's out there.
How often do you partake in this?
Let's say as much as I can. Let's just say in a week, maybe once, twice a week, something like that, depending on how money is or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I don't know about Atlanta, but in Los Angeles, some of the girls are beautiful here.
Oh yes, you do pretty good. I mean, it's like I said, lots of choices, so you can't. It's hard to go wrong. But I mean, it's, you get they try to steal from you, or it's playing games, and they're trying to hustle you and that kind of thing. So you got to watch out for that.
Yeah, they're still hustlers.
Oh yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever develop feelings for any of these girls?
You try to keep yourself from doing that. I mean, because once you deal with somebody on a regular basis, which is, I like to deal with somebody on a regular basis sometimes because it's easier.
You trust them too.
Exactly. You kind of have a rapport with each other. So, and when you're having sex, it's hard not to bring emotion into it. So sometimes it can happen. It can happen, but you got to watch yourself. It's a slippery slope, I should say.
These girls aren't meant for that.
No, not at all. And they're not looking for that.
They're not looking for it. Yeah.
Right, and the people that they work for don't want them looking.
Oh, that. How old are you?
I'm 47.
47. Do you have kids?
Yes.
Where are the kids?
Actually, I have custody of my 10-year-old. He lives with me.
So you're raising him?
Yes.
And you support yourself now how?
Well, I get money from the military.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
And that's enough to survive on?
Just about.
You do other things to maybe help?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. We don't need to.
I mean, you do what you have to do. It's survival. It's a certain way of living, that you have a different mindset, excuse me, than most people do.
Do you ever have any crazy stories with the girls?
I mean, I've been chased by pimps, shot at, that kind of thing. I've had girls that had feelings and wanted to leave, and I've had, a pimp kick down the door and snatch the girl, drag her back out, things like that. Been robbed, of course, my pants down, that kind of thing. But not too bad, not too bad. That's about the worst of it. I've never been, I've had girls, pull knives on me. One actually did stab me with a key in the shoulder before, trying to get away with some money.
You had what?
She stabbed me in the shoulder with a key.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was, trying to get away with my wallet. But that's about the extent.
Is there something exciting about finding girls this way? The adrenaline of it all?
Yeah, it's you never know what you're gonna find. You never know who. It's a new person. It's the unknown.
It's dangerous.
That too. I mean, because you could get robbed, killed. I mean, who knows what might happen. It's just the unknown. It's just the thrill of the unknown, I should say.
And where do you guys typically go? You get a room?
Yeah, I don't like being out on the street. I'm too big for the car. I'm not really keen on that. Maybe a blowjob here and there every now and then, but for the most part, I like to be able to get a room.
You ever get STDs, any diseases?
Luckily, no. But I use condoms.
You do?
So yeah, because there's no way that you can trust what goes on the street.
Do you prefer this?
I prefer it in
this
that
lifestyle rather than just having a steady girlfriend?
I mean, I look at it like this. You meet a girl, you take her out, you date, you take her to the movies, you take her to dinner, whatever the case may be, buy her some gifts. I mean, you're just paying for it regardless. But there's no guarantee in regular life. There's a guarantee when you get somebody off the street. So you don't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. And that's the part I do like, because I like to be able to get what I want.
Are drugs a part of your life?
Sometimes.
Yeah. And the drugs are a part of the girls' lives as well.
Most definitely. Usually, definitely. Drugs, alcohol, weed, the meth, cocaine.
Sometimes it's just a party for you guys, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you try to make it a party. You try to have some fun. I mean, you're paying for the time. I mean, you want to make the most of it. I don't partake in everything, but, some things I do.
Yeah. Do you think humans are meant to be monogamous?
No, I don't. I mean, being a man is just, you have that want, that need. Sometimes it's just something different. You just get that animal urge inside you.
No, if you drive down Fig and you see how many women.
Yeah, I mean, half naked, all naked. I mean, waving at you, smiling at you, calling, come here.
They all want to jump in your car.
Please, yeah, exactly. It's hard to resist, especially when you You know, if you've never done it before, you know, some people are so afraid or so scared they don't even they never try. But I mean, once you start, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, I think that becomes addictive for some guys too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's that guaranteed satisfaction.
What's your favorite kind of girl?
I like Spanish women a lot. They're very, I want to say spicy, but you know, they're passionate. Passionate, I should say. And I enjoy that very much.
Yeah, it's funny how you'll find white guys that love the black women,
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot.
and you find black guys who like the white women.
White women, yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of the Mexican guys like the black girls.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's like a
Yeah, it's like you want to try what you're not used to, you know, what you don't normally get, you know. It's like going to a new restaurant and trying the food that you've never had before.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Do you have any regrets?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
What's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret, you know, is not finishing school, not having that. It would have been nice to have a regular, normal life, you know, just doing that. Go to school, you go to college, you know. I played sports, you know, I was pretty good. I mean, I could have definitely went to college on a scholarship and things like that, but life hasn't been easy. You know, it's been up and down, and you know, that's one of my biggest regrets.
Did you have good role models as a kid?
No, I mean, it was just my stepfather, and he was not a good role model at all. And other than that, that was it. I did everything else on my own after that. You know, it was just me making mistakes, you know, learning along the way, just doing the best I could. But when you start out with no information, it's hard to get things right. You know what I mean? I mean, my life would be a whole lot different otherwise. Like I said, if my father hadn't died.
How'd you lose your dad?
He had cancer. But he was young, it was sudden. And, you know, him and my mom were high school sweethearts. They tried for 8 years to have me, all that kind of thing. But I know my life would have been different if he hadn't died, but you can't control these kind of things.
Yeah. Randy, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
That's a good question. I say, the most important. Be a man of your word. It's do what you say. Don't make promises you can't keep. And you have to look out for yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Yeah, I just have to say that'd be it.
All right, Randy, thank you so much for sharing your story.
No problem.
Have some fun this weekend.
Oh, I will.
Thank you.
Thanks.